Kia ora everyone, especially my guys. Hope everyone is well and safe, and so's your whānaus. I've been watching in the background anyway, parole hearings of recently with Mandu stuff, and some of them I come across. Some of them are just fucking horrible, and other ones are interesting. But every now and again I'll come across one and I think, oh, maybe I should share it with you guys, and this is one of them. So every now and again I'll pop up these parole hearings when they're an interesting case. This one here is a real sicko. There's such a horrible fucking problem with incest around the world. It looks like it's disgusting. But here's one where the victim, the daughter, has got a set of kahunas on her, and she isn't having a bar of this guy, her father, getting out of prison. Anyways, enjoy. P.S. These are edited. If you want to see the full version, then pop across to Mandu's channel. I'll leave a link below. Okay.
So for the record, stating your name and DOC number.
Andrew L. Mitchell, Senior, 436555.
Let me explain the process to you. First, I will read information into the record, then the board will conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow the participants who have indicated to speak to have their input. We have two who are here in support. We have Ms. Diana El Hamacho, sister, who will be speaking, and Ms. Audrey Howard, aunt, who will also be speaking. In opposition, we have Ms. Ethel Legine Peak, who is the victim, who will be speaking in opposition. With her is Ms. Ashley Mitchell, victim, who will also be speaking. We also have Darius Credit, who is the DCAdmin Baton Rouge District PNP office.
Okay.
At the end, Mr. Mitchell, you'll be allowed to make a brief statement before the board votes. Do you understand the process, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the case for Andrew Mitchell, DOC number 436555, date of birth, March 23rd, 1960. Classified as a first felony offender. Offenses: molestation of a juvenile, 2 counts, forcible rape, 3 counts, aggravated incest, 2 counts, oral sexual battery, 2 counts, incest, 1 count. Sentencing date, May 4th, 2001. Sentenced to a total of 40 years. Parole date, August 1st, 2021. Good time, September 16, 2030. Full term, February 6, 2039. Is this information correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Kelsey.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mitchell, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good. And you, sir?
How old are you?
I'm 61 now.
How long have you been incarcerated on this sentence? 40 years.
23 years.
What do you currently do for the facility there?
I'm a clergy 3. We work in conjunction with the chaplain and the director over the Bible college. And we do a lot of community work with the offenders. I play for a lot of the services here, and we do a lot of cell block ministry. We give out care packages, we pray, we go to the hospitals, and we see about the sick and pray for the sick and the infirm, and a lot of community service.
When's your last disciplinary write-up?
2016.
What?
I had too many things folded up on the foot of my bed, and my bed area was not in compliance with policy.
Okay. How many disciplinary write-ups have you had since you've been incarcerated?
I have 3 low court write-ups.
That's it.
But none for disciplinary disobedience or defiance or anything of that nature.
And have you taken sex offender treatment?
Yes, sir. I've even facilitated that.
Okay.
And I have a reference letter from Dr. Cohen, who initiated it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, again, this is a pretty significant crimes you committed here. This is this is pretty significant. What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned? What have you learned to help yourself? I mean, what?
Well, Your Honor, when my first week into incarceration, I knew that I had messed up terribly. I knew that I had lost my mind, and I needed to figure out what was going on. And so from that first week, I decided, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I need to change. I need to improve. And the only way I knew I could do that was to re-educate myself and to take the required programming that the state offered, because I really wanted answers to why I was such a prurient and deviant person. And especially, how could I do that to my daughters? And I've lived with the horror of what I've done every day and every year. And I wanted to prove, not through just saying that that I'm sorry and remorseful and regretful, but I wanted to show it. I wanted to let everybody know that I was truly remorseful. And the only way I knew I could do that was to take the proper procedures to change and make improvements to my life and my thinking. And I've had a paradigm shift in my thinking. I've had a conversion in my understanding, and I was just, I knew I was messed up and I needed help. I needed to change and improve. And I wanted to do that because I love my family of affinity and my family of consanguinity, and I've embarrassed them and shamed them. And I never wanted that. I wanted to be a good daddy, a good father, a mentor, and a friend, and be an example to everyone. I was just a perverted person, a misguided individual. But I've taken all the necessary and relevant steps I could to improve and to raise my cognition, my understanding of my crimes, because I want to be a better person to my family and a better father to my kids. I want to leave a legacy of goodness and a reputable reputation before them. I don't want to die with this hanging over my head or theirs. And I'm truly sorry for what I've done to them. And the things that I've put them through, they didn't deserve that. And they don't deserve it. And I take full responsibility for this. I'm guilty, and I pled guilty from the beginning because I never wanted to put them through any more of the embarrassment than I already had. And I'll live with the horror of this crime for the rest of my life. And I understand that it's horrendous, but Your Honor, that's not who I am today. That's who I was. And I've taken every relevant program and everything beyond, over and above, because remorse and contrition and repentance has to be demonstrated, not just merely stated.
What's your plans if you were to be released? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
Well, I'll be living at my mother's house in St. Francisville, and I have a lot of support from the churches around. I'm an accomplished musician, and these people have watched me for 18 years, and they know me, and a lot of them will support me. I plan to get me a job, and I plan to open up a ministry of my own And I have a lot of support, a lot of family. They're there with me right now. They've been supporting me for 23 years, even though I didn't deserve it. They've been right there. And I can't tell you how sorry I am, because I had a good family, great kids, beautiful wife. And I just let everybody down. And I live with that embarrassment every day.
Well,
But-
you like I said, it sounds like you're trying to get a plan out there, but understand you're going to have some sex offender stipulations. It's going to be kind of difficult just to hey, open up some type of church or ministry. I mean, that you're going to have some specific stipulations, don't you? I mean, it's going to be difficult when you get out there. Where you can be, who you can be around, all those things.
Right. Yes, sir. I'm willing to do, I believe in the law. I respect the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen, I believe now, more appropriate, more apt to live within the means of the law, but do what I need to do to try to fulfill my dream as an individual within the community. I want to be an asset to the community, not a liability.
Now, were you on drugs and alcohol when you committed these terrible crimes?
No, sir. I don't drink and smoke.
Never have.
Oh, I have, on occasion, but it was
At
never.
the time you weren't.
No, sir.
And when I got that news, I couldn't believe it, because this wasn't the person that I had seen grow up. And I knew he loved his family. I knew he loved them. But I think what he may have failed to tell you was he started hanging out with some older gentleman that was in the church. And something happened, something changed. I don't know what. And I can't speculate what. I'm not making excuses for him. It was wrong. What he did was wrong.
Good afternoon, Parole Board. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today on behalf of my brother, Andrew Mitchell Sr., and telling you that I too believe that Andrew has really learned from the crimes that he committed. He's very remorseful. He did not have any type of crimes whatsoever before this crime was committed. Yes, it was a really, really shock to our family, but I can tell you that if he gets the second chance and have an opportunity to come out, I will tell you that he has a lot of support. In any type of fashion that he is going to be harmful or hurtful to any individual. That's just not the person Andrew is.
This is not a neighbor that Mr. Mitchell molested and raped. This is his own children. My son is named Andrew Mitchell II. He will not even answer to that name. So I understand that Mr. Mitchell may be a stellar whatever, but I'm still dealing with my children who he has hurt. And my daughter is sitting here next to me now. She's 37 and she still has nightmares because the man who was supposed to love her, nurture her, protect her, was the man who violently raped her.
Hi, I'm the victim, the daughter of the prisoner. I'm strongly opposed to his release. His other family, his mother, sisters, brothers, are supporting his release because they feel guilty for his behavior. They have not tried to reach out to me and my other siblings to see about our welfare or mental state. They should probably be in there with him. I do have hard feelings toward them. Not only should he not be released, he should be euthanized, and I'm not understanding why he isn't. This isn't a robbery or an arson. This is a man posing as a man of God who can rape and beat his own wife and children behind closed doors for many, many years. Prison is the safest place for him to be, and if not, then he should be with the God that he loves so much. I have my own children, and I could not look at them and do something like that to them. And I don't understand why this human can and be even considered for any type of release. Thank you for your time.
I'd like to say, Your Honor, I understand the way they feel. They have the right to feel that way because that's the condition I left them in. And I take full responsibility for it. Ashley, Legine, I'm sorry that—
Speak to the board. Speak to us. Speak to us.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry that I betrayed their trust, Your Honor, that I hurt my daughter. I'm sorry that when I should have been their protector and provider, I only cared about my selfish cravings and my lust. Your Honor, I made bad career decisions, and those decisions caused friction between Legine and I. And as a result of that, I became depressed. And from that depression, I gave up on life. I didn't want to live. And from that depression, it reverted me back to an old addiction of pornography on the web. And from that, this transpired. But Your Honor, I have learned, I've taken every necessary procedure that I could to earn trust and trustworthiness again, to show that I understand that I hurt not only my primary victim, my daughter, and my secondary victims, my families, and my tertiary victims, my community and society. I let everybody down, and I understand that. But Your Honor, if you just give me a chance at an opportunity to prove that I can be a responsible person and an upstanding person in the community, I can. And I am so sorry. I live with the horror and the repulsiveness of what I've done to my daughters. I didn't want to be that type of person. I made bad decisions, and I take full responsibility for my bad decisions.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm prepared to vote. I'll vote first. But you know, sometimes you can take every class in the world, but sometimes time is what you need. And you know, just listening to you and listening to what I have found, you know, based on the nature of the crime and the strong victim opposition and law enforcement opposition, you know, you can still take more programming and maybe a little more time. My vote would be to deny your parole today. Jim Wise. Jim Wise.
Hey, I was going over your file a lot the whole time we was doing that. And I tell you, it was really fair. I read over it last night and I looked at it again and doing that. And I tell you, it was really fair. I read over it last night. I was going over your file a lot and I looked at it again and I looked at it again. And today my vote is to deny. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Parole.
Again, I want to just commend the victim, their family for showing up today. It was very courageous. When I read the report, I think you're just as courageous as you was at age 14. You know, when you, yeah, I just want to commend you for that. Today, my vote is to deny as well.
All right, you have 3 votes to deny today. Your parole's been denied. Good luck.